I got my Periscope. Johnny, did you guys still want to go over to CBU for a basketball game?
Are you going this week?
Schedule. They don't have a whole lot of home games left.
I know. Like I said, it would be a cool idea. Not this year, maybe sometime we can look for something next year. Take a few kids. Like I said, I would like to take a few kids so they can see a couple other events behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Just so they can see that.
Well,
what we're doing is almost a replica of what everybody else is doing.
They're doing like what professionals are doing.
Exactly.
I think of all the teams or schools or anything in the area, CBU is probably the closest thing to professional.
Nice job.
Yeah, real nice.
Yeah.
Did you go look at it at all?
No, I just shot the game.
Push the button?
Uh-oh, it says fix errors to preview. It says errors. Is it the stream rate?
And then we talked about Lamont Butler. He's going to go to St. Mary's, he thinks.
Is there money involved? Welcome to the Inland Sports TV show. My name is Fernandez. That is Geoff Gorham. As always, we're going right into the CIF Southern Section basketball playoffs. In fact, Geoff, we've got games tonight.
There's a lot of games going on tonight. In fact, there's a lot of teams that are still in it from our area, and there's teams that were CIF champs that are still playing. There's guys like Riverside Poly who come in as an underdog this year. They're still playing, and the open division is peppered with inland teams.
I've got the brackets open right now, and I do want to say this real quick. That remember last year, it was kind of like the golden age of basketball in Riverside.
It was
Poly, Hillcrest, and Notre Dame.
Yeah, we're all in the championship, and I'll tell you what, it seems like the leagues are getting better out here. The players, the teams, everybody's better out here. Everybody talked about the Orange County, the Trinity League. No. Basketball is the best here in the Inland Empire.
And speaking of some of those Trinity League schools, we're going to get to that in a second because we're going to talk Centennial basketball. We're going to catch up with head coach Josh Giles. The Huskies are playing Mater Dei.
That's right.
In their second open division game because now they put them in pool play. Remember, we talked about it last week where you get 3 games in the open division. They take the 8 teams, they split them up into 2 4-team divisions, and Centennial opened up the playoffs. Big win against Bosco. Now another Trinity League school in Mater Dei.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet. I mean, we're seeing Rancho Verde playing a gauntlet. These teams, this pool play, I like it, but I don't like it. You know, you always want to say a one and done kind of situation. But when the teams are this good and this powerful, it's okay to go pool play because you will get a true champion of each pool to play for a state championship.
And that's why I'm okay with it, too, because, like, what if you just don't match up with the other team?
And it happens all the time.
But now you've got 3 opportunities to win a game or 2 and try to win that Open Division championship. So, you know what? We got a graphic for that. Let's take a look at those Open Division games taking place tonight. So this is the second game in the Open Division tonight, and then we've got one more coming up on Friday. But these are the games tonight. So in a matter of hours, these are, Geoff, these feel like CIF championship games in themselves here.
Oh, they do. I mean, you look at Etiwanda. Etiwanda has been phenomenal for years. Rancho Christian, as of late, just in the last few years, has become a national power due to the Mobley brothers, for one. But they do have other guys, other pieces that make them so dominant. But Rancho Christian, remember, they were upset early on in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, Rancho Christian lost to Bishop Montgomery. Now the Rancho Verde gets Bishop Montgomery tonight. You just never know what's going to happen in these Open Division games. The teams are all so good. Anyone can, I thought, maybe Rancho Christian would walk to the Open Division title. Yeah. They lose their first game. It's crazy.
They were the highest seed. They're getting home game after home game after home game, and they've got to win. This is a must-win situation if you're Rancho Christian. It's a must-win situation if you're Rancho Verde.
Yes, it's unbelievable. I love this stuff. So Rancho Christian playing Etiwanda tonight. That game is at Vista Murrieta High School, and our own Daryl Trujillo will be there for Inland Sports tonight covering the game. So we will have boots on the ground at Rancho Christian.
I'm excited.
All right, now let's talk Centennial, and we got a little video from their practice. This was on Monday. So go ahead, Anthony. Anthony's on top of it today. I bought him a donut, so the Sugar Rush, he's on top of it with those buttons and the levers. So Centennial, they're taking on Mater Dei. They beat Bosco in their opening game 75-71. So now back-to-back Trinity League schools for head coach Josh Giles and the Huskies. They get Mater Dei tonight. And Geoff, it's worth noting this game has been moved to Santiago.
Yeah, because they need a bigger facility.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you have Mater Dei, they'll bring, it's like the Green Bay Packers or the Pittsburgh Steelers. They travel guys. Mater Dei is going to bring everybody. What a great game, though. And Coach Giles, you watch him right there. They have Division I players all over the court.
I still go back to this. When I first came to the Inland Empire in 2011, Centennial was a football school. And no one would argue against that, right? It was a football school. But they said, hey, give Centennial a year or two. They've got some really good young players coming up the line. At the time, it was, Sam Finley. It was Cedric Bearfield, Khalil Ahmad, who we're seeing at Fullerton
right.
now. There were some guys coming up. You're like, okay, yeah, Centennial's Jordan Griffin was another guy. I could go on. But there were some guys coming up. It's like Centennial's going to be a football and basketball school, and that's exactly what's happening now with the Centennial Huskies.
Yeah, they had the big kid that played at UCLA, played for the Indiana Pacers.
Jalen Hill. Oh, Ike Anigbogu.
Yeah, I can't say his name, so that's the hardest thing about it. But
Ike.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, we did a game the other night. We thought that Coach Giles would be there at UC Riverside because he had a couple of players, but he was over at UCLA because was it Jalen? The big kid he had a couple years ago.
Jalen Hill,
and Cedric Bearfield, they squared off at UCLA, so he was over there checking out his former guys.
That's right. I did see a picture of that. All right, let's hear from head coach Josh Giles, our own Cullen Holt. He caught up with the Huskies head coach at practice on Monday morning. Yes, they actually practice in the AM at Centennial. And we caught up with Josh Giles to not only talk about the big win against St. John Bosco in their first Open Division game, but also taking on the Mater Dei Monarchs tonight. And just the new format of the CIF Southern Section Open Division, that you get 3 guaranteed games in what we're kind of calling pool play. You get 3 guaranteed games to advance to that Open Division championship game, which will be at California Baptist University at CBU. So that'll be fun in that great new arena. So here is Centennial head coach Josh Giles.
Sports. The pros of it are, having been in the Open Division, a couple times now. Before, if you lost, you had so much time off, and then they did the consolation bracket. And my only concern, or I guess my problem with when they had the consolation bracket, is I always felt if you won the consolation tournament of the Open Division, you should get a ring, you should get a plaque. I mean, that's an impressive. You're not, you're still beating some really, really good teams. You're beating all Open Division teams, and you win the consolation. So to me, that should have been rewarded. There should have been more like to be playing for when we had the consolation side of it. I mean, it's the second, if you win the Open Division consolation, it's the second best division in CIF. You should get a reward for that. You should get rings. I would gladly hang that banner in our gym, you know what I mean? So now that they got away with that, you know, when you had the consolation, some of those games became kind of meaningless because it was like, why are you playing this team? You're going to play them in a week in state, you know what I mean? So that was kind of an issue. Now doing this, hopefully it takes care of both those situations. You don't have the long layoff if you lose, and these games still matter because in the pool play, you know, if somebody else loses and there's a tie, you have a chance to maybe win a tiebreaker, things like that. So first time doing it, I mean, it's we'll see how it goes. And our pool's just loaded, you know, with St. John Bosco, ourselves, Mater Dei, Sierra Canyon. That's it's 4 pretty decent teams right there. All the teams in the Open Division are so good. You know, the days, we kind of talked about it before going into the game, you know, none of these games are going to be teams that you're going to beat by, you know, 15, 20 points. They're all going to be games that come down to the last couple minutes, last couple possessions of a game. So, you know, making simple things like being able to make a free throw, making easy shots. Like you wouldn't have an opportunity to make layups, you have to make a layup. You have to hit open shots. So for us, I thought we did a good job, especially in the third quarter. St. John Bosco got really hot from the outside. It was like a barrage of 3-pointers. And we got down by like 7 or 8 points, but we never panicked. We kind of just stayed with it, chipped away. And then late in the game, we were able to get on like I think we went on like a 12-0 run there late in the game to kind of pull away, which was nice. But, you know, in these kind of games, sometimes it just comes down to basic stuff like being able to make free throws. So I want to say they're probably 4 inches taller than us at every single position. They have a couple different starting lineups, but, you know, they can start 3, 6, 9 guys. And they're kind of similar to what we were last year, where they start 4 sophomores and a junior at times. But they're obviously really well coached. They shoot the ball really well. I think if they're able to kind of dictate tempo and do that kind of stuff, that might hurt us. If we can get the game kind of going up and down the floor, making them run with us, you know, we are definitely giving up a lot height-wise. So we got to really box out and try to do our best on the boards.
Inland Sports.
Josh Giles, the head basketball coach at Centennial High School. That's a basketball school at Centennial Huskies.
It is, and they're playing, like I said, Mater Dei. Gary McKnight, a legendary, all-time winningest coach in California history. But Mater Dei is probably the best basketball program in the nation for the last 20-plus years, 25 years.
If you look at the whole body of work.
Very much so, yes.
But right now,
it's all
tonight,
about, yeah, I agree.
at Santiago, it's all about Giles and the Huskies.
Yeah, and you can't, you know, I know that it's more coach speak, but I wouldn't put Coach Giles against any other coach and say he's the underdog ever. He adjusts well, he knows the game of basketball, he knows his players, and I think he's one of the best there is. So
it's Mater Dei tonight, and then they get Sierra Canyon in that third game, which that's unbelievable. Sierra Canyon Centennial could be fighting to go 3-0 and advance to that championship game. How cool would that to be seeing Centennial at CBU for the Open Division Championship? It's like a blessing and a curse. It's great because that means you're the best of the very best. But in the Open Division too, it's so tough. If you're going to go play for state against the Open Division champ from Northern California.
And once you're in the Open Division, you pretty much stay in the Open Division.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a staple. Hey, if you're going to be good this year, you're going to be good the next year. So look to see Centennial be in this Open Division championships every single year.
Yeah, those state playoffs are Open Division.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, just crazy. All right, moving on. We got another graphic. We got lots of fancy graphics today in the show. We've got a graphic with some of the other big games going on this week. We couldn't list all of the games because we still have a lot of teams right here in the Inland Empire still alive in the hunt for CIF Southern Section Championships. But here's some of the real juicy ones. Tonight, Temecula Valley will take on Newport Harbor. That's Division II AA, so that's a pretty big division. In the same division, we've got Notre Dame at Chaminade, and Notre Dame, Rob Robinson, Geoff, they're back. I mean, they just kind of reloaded with that whole great team from last year. Basically, everybody coming back.
I mean, think of it this way: what did they finish? Third place in their league. Yeah. They could be a CIF champ finishing in third place. That tells you how tough that league is. And Coach Robinson does a great job.
Hillcrest at San Gabriel Academy. Oh, they were second place. Poly was third.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Because remember, Notre Dame lost against Paloma Valley because Notre Dame against Rancho Verde was supposed to be the game. Yeah. Johnny here at Teen Vision TV16 did the game because I said that's the game, but then they lost. Okay, Hillcrest at San Gabriel Academy. Again, the year of the basketball. It's Lunar New Year for China. I know it's the year of the pig, but it's the year of Riverside basketball. It continues. It's Notre Dame and it's Hillcrest still in there as they'll take on San Gabriel Academy.
And remember, Hillcrest had to win in overtime over Paloma Valley just to get here. They had a great run with Sebastian Mendoza, who's awesome.
Yes, he's unbelievable. In fact, I saw video of Sebastian Mendoza working out with Ron Artest.
What?
I mean, Meta World Peace.
Yeah, there we go. That's
true. That's true. I know I make a lot of stuff up, but that is true.
That's a good one. And then Patriot, I'll tell you, behind Gavin Kroll's 44 last game, broke a school record. I'm telling you right now, the best junior in the area, hands down.
And if I'm thinking correctly, he broke the school record that was set by Brian Gugliotta.
Yes,
a couple of years ago. Googs, right?
Yeah, that's our guy.
So yeah, that Patriot team is good. So if Patriot wins and Orange Vista wins against Loara,
they match up.
They would play each other in the next round, which would be unbelievable.
That would be cool.
It would be awesome matchup. Again, it's if you're celebrating Lunar New Year, it's Year of the Pig.
I do. Come on, I love eating bacon.
It's the year of Riverside basketball. It continues. Riverside Poly, big opening win against the Cajon Cowboys in Division I. The Bears home tonight at the Den as they take on St. Anthony. Hashtag Here Come the Bears. We caught up with Lamont Butler and head coach Yancey Dodson following that big win against Cajon High School.
Sports
has always been the strength of our program in general, particularly this team this year, that we have a lot of different guys who can put the ball in the basket. And so it's not uncharacteristic of us to have 3 and 4 guys in double digits. And when when we have 3 or 4 guys in double digits, because we're generally scoring in the 50s and 60s, and if we're on fire, we'll get up in the 70s. So when we have 3 and 4 guys who have double-digit scoring games, I think that's just the strength of our team, and it's difficult to play against, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Evan, he's a scorer. He can shoot. Lavelle, our big man, even though his might not be on the stats, but he helps us a lot defensively, offensively, setting hard screens. Derek is just a hard-nosed player. Trent, the rest of the team. I mean, we're just so deep. We can just do anything, and hope is makes us push farther into the season.
Sports.
Lamont Butler is pretty good.
That's a pretty good player. In fact, I think a few teams in everywhere around the entire country want that guy. Princeton, Santa Clara, St. Mary's. I'm sure every Pac-12
I think UCR's is all over him, yeah.
Stanford's on it. The guy's a 6 grade point average, smart kid, and a true point guard.
You know what's cool is you look at Lamont Butler's stats, and Coach Dodson even said this. They're not going to blow you away because Riverside Poly is just so balanced and deep. Everyone does a little bit of everything. You look at their stats after the game, Lamont Butler, 14 points, 8 assists, Evan Oliver, 10 points. You just kind of go down the list. It's like nobody has like a 30-point game. Like they're just so balanced and deep, and that's the strength of the Poly Bears, is the strength of the pack, not an individual, the strength of the pack. So yeah, they're good.
And I do believe that Lamont Butler, when he gets to the next level, is going to be an even better player when he's surrounded by pros. Big-time players, he will flourish and be a phenomenal point guard.
One of the best players in the area. When we come back, we're going to talk some high school soccer. Fingers crossed. We're going to have
soccer.
You love the kickball.
I love kickball more than anything.
Listen, these guys are #1 in Division II. It's the Arlington Lions. Head coach Kevin Watson is scheduled to join us next here on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. CATALANO Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at CATALANO Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Geoff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez here live at Teen Vision TV 16 in their beautiful, beautiful studio here.
It's pretty nice. Pretty sweet.
Except for it's really cold. I know you guys can't feel it across your TV screen or your phone.
It's cold. It's cold. My eyeballs are freezing.
So we've been doing a lot of soccer, which is outdoors, and I'm bundling up. In fact, I got a new, you'll appreciate this, because last year I got a new beanie from Liechtenstein.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, it's got like a little
ball on top.
Yeah, it's got a little crown in the front and stuff. It was fresh from Liechtenstein. My in-laws just got me another new beanie from Iceland. They went to Reykjavik. Is it Reykjavik? Am I saying that? Reykjavik.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, they went to Reykjavik, and they got me a new Icelandic beanie. So I wore that today, actually.
Does it have a ball on top like the other one?
No ball.
Oh.
No ball on top, but I rocked it because it's cold out there, especially when we go to these soccer games. Now, Saturday, Geoff, I apologize. I was late getting to the UC Riverside basketball game because I was at a soccer game.
Yeah, you were. Hey, you know, it's in PKs, isn't it?
PKs. That's good lingo.
PKs, and I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Yeah, I'm on the pitch." I said, "Where the hell are you?" I said, "This is not. You're not at the SRC. You're not at the basketball game." But apparently, you were at a playoff soccer game.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so we a little bit late, but we got the game off at UCR. But I was at Colton High School for the soccer game. It was fantastic. It went to a shootout. I'm a soccer guy. I don't need a lot of goals to get into it. Like I like all the close calls, and it was a lot of close calls. It went to a shootout all the way to a shootout.
There, for PKs.
PKs, as Geoff would say. It went to PKs and a shootout. Here's the defining moment, as that was Santa Fe against Colton. The Santa Fe kicker stopped by the Colton goalie, so they just needed to score their next goal, the Yellow Jackets, and it would be over. And it would be over as they connect. So they win 5-3 in the shootout. Colton now advances to take on Tustin in Division 4. So a very dramatic win for the Yellow Jackets. And I'll say this, there's a guy out there, George Ruvalcaba, right there, number 17. One of the best players I've seen in this area in a while. He was really good. I felt bad for him. He probably had like 20 shots on goal. He didn't score any of them, but you could just tell he was the best player on that field by a long shot.
So do you go from high school to college at this level, or do you go from high school to the pros in soccer? Because it's soccer.
Well, a little birdie told me, because I'm a man. I walk the streets and I hear from everybody, and I heard he might be going pro somewhere out of the country. So he might be going that route. Yeah.
Wow.
Can't say much more than that.
That's about it, huh? So no signing day unless it's over wherever he's going to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he's signing something, it's a big money contract. All right. Now let's go and hear from Arlington head coach Kevin Watson. Hopefully he's going to be joining us on Skype. I miss his beautiful face up here, as the Lions are the #1 seed in Division 2 for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. Coach Watson, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
He can hear us, but we can't hear him. Is he on the line, and do we have video of him as well?
No video.
All right. Hey, Coach, first off, congrats on the regular season. On the season as a whole, there's 22 wins for the Lions, which is a new school record. Can you talk about the season as a whole so far? I know there's still a lot of soccer to be played, but what you guys have been able to accomplish already with the school record 22 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think considering we come from the Ivy League, we got 3 teams currently in the quarterfinals. It's been a dogfight, to say the least. I think going into the year, if you said we're going to get 22 wins, I would say you're crazy. But here we are, and we got a great group, senior class, that just kind of continued on the success we had last year, and now we're trying to get over the Achilles heel, which is the quarterfinals for us. So that's the next big step, to be fair.
You know, going back to last season, you just mentioned it, the success you guys had last year and moving forward and continuing it this year. You're the #1 seed in Division 2. There's so many great teams in Division 2, but you're the #1 seed. Do you feel like from last year you were the hunter, now this year, do you feel more like the hunted, being that top seed in your division?
Yeah, I think CIF is trying to hunt us, because you see our draw? We got Sunny Hills round 1, Corona round 2, and I'm looking around, and we can't buy a coin toss either. So, yeah, we're definitely being hunted by everybody. It's been a different. Last year we got 3 straight home matches. This year we're going to be on the road the entire way almost, and so we're just praying that we can be successful on the road. Yeah, but it's different. We got a big bullseye on our back. It's a different step for us.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, a division, the #1 seed in Division 2, you're going on the road to Corona, which is Corona's unbelievable, and then you have to go on the road all the way to San Marcos, which is crazy too. That's video of Colton, guys. We don't need that. We're just talking Arlington here. But now you've got to go on the road to San Marcos, which is up by Santa Barbara. That's a long road trip for a #1 seed.
Yeah, and we're on a yellow bus. There is no charter buses available on a Wednesday. Go figure. So, but it is what it is. We're always got a good spin, and the boys are ready. So we're excited, and we don't think Santa Barbara's seen a team like us yet. So, or I should say San Marcos. So.
Now, Coach, is this? I heard a rumor about you. Is this your March Madness? Because I heard you're a big basketball fan as well. Is that true?
I'm super pissed. My Tar Heels lost last night.
I watched that game last night. Oh,
it was a good game. It was a good game.
A great game. In fact, my wife's a big March Madness person, so she's like, these last couple weeks, she's watching these teams from the Midwest, the ACC. Now she's kind of pairing up. Now, what's the family history with you and college hoops?
So my mom was born and raised in North Carolina, and her brother tried to make me NC State fan. I said he was crazy because she was a big-time Tar Heel fan. And I went to Chapel Hill as a young kid, fell in love, and mind you, I was born the year of Jordan, so it was kind of just it goes hand in hand. And I have actually a great picture of my son being at center court when we saw the campus and got kind of a back behind the door tour, and the rest was history, man. The Carolina blue is a beautiful blue.
So it's a busy time of the year for Coach. You know, getting ready for this playoff run. March Madness is around the corner. Hopefully you guys won't suffer the same fate as the Tar Heels here.
No, win on the road. You guys.
No.
What was the team last year that was in Chicago?
Loyola of Chicago.
You will be the Loyola of Chicago. You're going to play on the road. You're going to beat everybody. You're going to go to the championship, Coach.
All right, I like it. Yeah, any love and favors we can get from everybody, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Hey, Coach, I'm still holding out hope that we might see an Arlington Poly final in Division II. You guys are both still alive, league rivals. I think that would be a lot of fun. You're probably sick of seeing the Bears, but from our Inland Empire perspective, we'd love to see an all-IE matchup in the finals.
I'll take it. I'd love to see Pauly for a third time.
Hey, I'm a Ramona Ram at heart, but I'll tell you what, I don't like Pauly. So you're the closest thing to a rival we have besides Pauly. I hope if you do play Pauly, you beat him like a stepchild.
Hey, you just moved up on my books. You're not too bad. You're not too bad. I like your thinking.
Well, Coach, listen, I think I hear practice going on in the background. Is that right?
That's our boys. We're here, and that's my good-looking assistant coach screaming in the back. He's taking charge right now.
Well, Coach, best of luck on that long road trip to San Marcos, and hopefully you come back with another W. That would be win number 23 on the season for Arlington. This is Coach Kevin Watson. Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. Yeah, I told you he was a big college basketball guy, Geoff.
I like him a lot. Now I hope they win it all. Before, I was thinking Arlington, but then you said they're going to play Poly, and I'm like, hey, I'm definitely an Arlington Lion fan.
You're all in.
I'm definitely all in.
All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports TV show. We're about to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, because softball already opened up their season this past weekend.
They did.
And now baseball is going to open up at home this weekend against Northern Illinois. So we're going to talk softball and baseball and Lonzo Ball in the house at CBU at a basketball game. We got to get to that as well. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports TV show.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. We have a number of different options to help athletes develop here at the BTC, whether it's our off-season strength programming or it's our general sessions and even our one-on-one training sessions with either myself or one of our coaches here. So if you need that detailed coaching, book your one-on-one session today. Please feel free to contact me directly on Instagram at Boost Training or on Twitter, Boost_Training, or contact me directly here at the gym. Our number is 951-532-4904.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. CATALANO Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at CATALANO Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
better, ready to fire, and I think that's paying off. We're definitely getting better by the week. So.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. We're going inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. And first up, our leadoff here is CBU baseball. Geoff, you and Coach Adcock go way back here in the Riv.
It's funny as to say it because it seems like I know everybody, but Gary Adcock's one of my closest childhood buddies, and we played basketball together. We played football, flag football. We played Little League baseball.
And he has been compared as a mini-me to you.
Yeah, we walk arm in arm.
Or you're like a giant Gary Adcock, however you look at it.
But yeah, every time I see him, I look at it and go, that guy looks familiar. Oh, it's just a little version of me.
Luke Navigato and the Lancers opening the season this weekend. They're going to take on Northern Illinois. It kicks off 17 straight games at home to open up the season.
That's got to be nice.
Listen, it's one of those deals, and I've seen this before, where all these teams from the Midwest or back east.
It's too cold.
It's too cold. You can't play baseball. They all come out west and play a bunch of games early on in the season. So CBU, being a first-year Division I program, kind of gets the benefit of that. They get like, I think it's Northern Illinois, Ohio comes to town. Like all these schools trying to get out of that cold, wet weather.
And you look at any other sport that's transitioning in Division I, especially basketball. I mean, I think CBU is on the road for weeks at a time. Yeah. This is a special time then for CBU baseball. Just like the basketball team, they can get a lot of wins here early on.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Yeah,
that's the plan. It all starts this Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the Lancers. So let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, and catch up with the California Baptist baseball team.
Between Coach Cepeda and myself, we cashed in every favor I think that was owed us. And the university helped us as well, with the great facility and the incentives to come play in this great weather. But we have Northern Illinois to open up. Ohio is my actually good friend. He coached with me at Purdue. So I reached out to Rob, and they're been a regional participant 2 of 3 years. UC Santa Barbara, Andrew Checketts and I are buddies, and Coach Garco at Pacific is friends with Jess and I. So we basically just cashed in a lot of favors, and we've got a really good home schedule. Probably the best one, I would say, in the athletic department as far as amount of home contests. So we're really excited about that.
Like I said, nothing's really changing in our practice. We're not practicing differently because we're Division I. We're coming out here every day, competing with each other, grinding, getting at bats in, getting fielding reps in. We're treating it as if it's an everyday game, Division I, Division II. Like I said, we're gonna come out here and grind with each other, show that we have mental toughness, and just show everyone that we could compete just as everyone else.
Having all those home games is going to be really nice. Being able to play your own park, how it plays, just getting the feel starting off the season right, being able to just work hard, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, with the homestand, I think it's gonna, we love playing here at home, and we usually are successful at home, so hopefully it gives us a jump start into the season, going into some tough places to play, like you said, the Division I. And yeah, hopefully we can get on a roll, get some wins under our belt, and see where we are.
We're really proud of the fact that every single game we have on the schedule is a Division I game, and while it sounds great now, I know it's going to be challenging as we go through the season, but and we're excited that the friends that we've made, Coach Cepeda and myself, throughout the baseball community have welcomed us and put us on their schedule, especially being a new program that hasn't established anything RPI-wise and beyond. So we're excited about it. We're anxious about it, and we're anxious to see how we stack up against some of the best.
The WAC, that's always winning. That is always going to be the challenge for us and what we want to accomplish. But just showing people that we are here to stay and that we can compete with these guys, and I think we could do that this year.
So that was was baseball. Now we transition here to softball, which they already played. They went to Texas A&M. How about that? Your first Division I games.
Good golly, yeah, traveling all over the place.
So they go to Texas A&M. They took on some really good teams. They picked up their first ever Division I win against North Texas, and that's the cool thing about all these CBU programs being the first year in Division I. They're kind of setting the benchmark, making all these milestones along the way for future teams to, to live up to, or, this year's team will be the first one to win at the D1 level, and, first base hit, first RBI, all those things.
I mean, it's just they've done a seamless job. Like I've said over and over, I think this is the best transition I've ever seen from a Division II going into Division I, and mainly it's because you look at the high-profile sport basketball and that beautiful arena, and you see all the highlights. But they do it in everything. It's not just basketball. It's baseball. It's swimming. It's cross country. It's golf. They do it all over at CBU, and they seem to have done it the right way.
Yeah, and most of the programs, like baseball, like softball, they were already one of the elite teams in Division II. So you already knew the writing was on the wall. They were going to be one of the better teams in Division I, and I think we're already going to see that, especially through the fall and the winter, and as we go into the spring here. But CBU softball getting their first D1 victory at the Texas A&M tournament, but they've got like about 80% of their games this season on the schedule, Geoff. About 80% are road games or tournament games. Like, they're on the road for a huge chunk of the season. So we'll have to see if CBU softball can be road warriors, going to all these tournaments and away games, and see if they can get some wins. So let's catch up with Coach Baber and the Lancers as we again go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Talk a little CBU softball.
I think that senior leadership, the returners coming back really help out a lot going into playing these tougher opponents that we're going to have to face every weekend. Definitely having the experience is going to help us a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge, especially because we have a lot of new people too, and just getting the right flow of things. But I think we're capable of handling it. It's something we're not used to. I mean, we didn't really travel a lot last year, but we are well conditioned, we're strong, and I know we'll get through it.
I think overall the strengths on this team is just the mindset that we've had since day one. I keep going back to that just because we've known, we're going into D1 and there's bigger things and more things expected from us, from the coaches and from each other, and I think we've had such a great mindset towards, working hard and getting in the extra work and getting in every time in the classroom and on the field, and I think one of our biggest strengths is just our mental game, and we're going to continue that and carry that onto the field and see what happens after that.
But I do believe that we've been really preaching that adversity is growth on this team, and no matter our age, no matter division, no matter the conference, we need to be confident in our talent and what we have, and our coaching staff as well.
Those players coming back that have been successful in their careers, they were all recruited Division I ball players. Some even played at the Division I level already. Having them in our lineup really helps out a lot because they're kind of more used to it. They know what to expect when we play those Division I schools, and but having them back is definitely a key to our lineup.
In the end, it's just 4 bases, some lines, and 9 girls on the field, and you just take it by that and give it all you've got.
And now let's make the transition as we pivot over to basketball. And CBU took on Kansas City, Missouri-Kansas City.
Yes.
The Kangaroos, which...
The Roos?
The Roos out of Kansas City. I don't know what the correlation is between Kangaroos and Kansas City.
Not a clue.
But they did host them on Saturday night. It was homecoming. Anthony, we got some video of that game. Let's go to it. It was, I don't want to say unruly, but it was packed, it was loud, it was chaotic, it was wonderful. Jordan heading right there, he dropped a game-high 24. Milan Aqua, wearing number 0, Agent 0, had 22. Rick Croy was looking great, as usual.
Intense, as usual.
Yes. And it was 70-60, the final score, as CBU picks up another WAC win Geoff, I'm really coming around on the WAC. I thought it was kind of a wacky conference, no pun intended, because of just the proximity of all the schools. The schools are just located all over the place. There's a lot of travel for the WAC. It's a good basketball conference.
I'll tell you what, you know, we cover UCR basketball, but they played a lot of the WAC schools last year. You saw them at Grand Canyon. I saw them at Utah Valley, at Seattle University. Those have some big time players, huge players. And I'll tell you, Cal Baptist, even though they can't make the tournament, they are, I'm telling you, they are just a short time away from being a dominant force in that conference.
Yeah, they're really good, and they're going to challenge for a WAC championship at some point.
And that guy, Jordan Henning, was the WAC player of the week.
Oh, he was. Good call. He was. 24 in that game alone against the Roos from Kansas City. Now, I was at the CBU basketball game, and like most of my stories, there I was minding my own business. That's how all my stories start. There I was.
Everybody just yells pep. That's all. It's your head is on a swivel. You're like your head is like a lazy Susan. Okay, so what happened at this?
Well, it wasn't CBU. Because it was not because I was at CBU and someone was yelling pep. It was someone who was yelling Lonzo.
Wait, whoa. Was Lonzo Ball at CBU?
Lonzo Ball of the Lakers, because he's injured, right? He has an ankle injury, so he's not with the team. In fact, the Lakers played Philadelphia, I think it was Sunday afternoon. So the basketball game at CBU was Saturday night. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I guess that could be him because he's not with the team. He's got an injury. Yes, it was Lonzo Ball Saturday night. There he is. Well, that's him in the red hat.
Please don't tell me Rick Croy was going to.
This is a raw video, by the way.
He's wearing, what is that?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Oh, I can't. Can I say this? I hope that Rick Croy didn't try to package a deal to get Lonzo Ball. Because it seemed like everybody
Mellow Ball. Jello Ball.
All three balls. Rick Croy, do not package a group of guys
Jello and Mellow
over for any of the balls. You know, it's cool he was there, but you know, whatever.
Jello and Mellow.
No,
but the thing that struck me was, again, what's the brand? Big Baller.
Yeah, the Big Baller brand.
I know what the logo looks like. It's like 3 Bs. It's not as cool as the Geoff Gorham logo.
I have my own logo.
You have your own logo, but they have like the 3 Bs. So I was looking over there, minding my own business, and I'm like, is he wearing any Big Baller stuff? And I was looking around. I'm like, I didn't see any Big Baller stuff.
The guy who was sitting next to him had a Zoe sweatshirt. It was a Zoe. See, I know. Because, you know, I just know these things. And, yeah, he had the Big Baller hat, all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, because I'm on KCAL 96.7 FM, and we were talking about this the other morning, and they had heard that it says Gucci, right?
Yeah, but that guy's got it. That's a Zoe sweatshirt and his triple B hat right there. Whoever that guy is right there.
That guy. But I had heard that I was told by Patrick and 40 at KCAL that they had heard, this is way down the telephone line, that they had heard that there was a chance that they were going to discontinue the Big Baller shoes.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't know.
But all I know is, please, CBU, don't trade for Lonzo Ball.
No, and CBU,
we don't want him.
And please keep living that 3-stripe life. Adidas is cool. Don't go to Big Baller.
I don't want to see Rick Croy wearing triple B hats and shirts and a big chain. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. That guy was wearing a giant chain. I don't want to see a giant chain on Rick Croy.
I would like to see that, actually. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up as we put a bow on National Signing Day for our local football guys. And a guy who actually signed early, and he's already trying to win a starting quarterback job at a Pac-12 school. We'll have that when we come back on the Inland Sports TV show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. CATALANO Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at CATALANO Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here from Boost Training. Letting you know, if you haven't already, check out my new series of videos called 2 cents in 20 seconds, where I'll be talking about everything from strength training, motivation, and everything in between. You can find it on our social media platforms, on Instagram at Boost Training, on Facebook, search for Boost Training, or on Twitter, Boost_Training. Check it out.
Donuts, but you know, this thing was full. You can kind of see in there, it was full when I came in.
It wasn't for me. I didn't eat a donut.
Man,
if my wife is watching, did not have a donut. I didn't have 2. I had none. I had big 0. I want one, but I'm not going to eat one.
I saw you eyeing those donuts. There's 3 left. I'm gonna take those home, because remember, I live in a gluten-free household, so I'm gonna eat all 3 as I'm driving home, because I can't take them into my house.
So wait, you can't, like, when you go home, you can't bring that in the house?
No.
Why? You can't just eat that in front of your family?
They see this pink box? Oh, they'd be yelling and screaming and throwing things at me. It'd be an ugly scene.
So you're just gonna pound them on the way home. Just, you're not gonna eat dinner. You're gonna say, "What do you want?" I just want to have broccoli.
I'm not hungry. Really? You're not hungry? You had a long day.
Come on, eat this big giant bowl of broccoli.
All right, let's wrap things up here. Today's show, National Signing Day. Guys, I think we got a picture of Roosevelt Signing Day. I want to send a big shout out to Tommy Leach, the head football coach out there at Roosevelt. Oh, we got Aquinas too. Aquinas, Coach K out there with the Falcons.
Who's that big giant guy? Look at that guy.
Oh man, I don't have the Aquinas.
It doesn't matter. Just look at that guy. He's the mountain. He looks like Game of Thrones. Look at that guy.
And that's Coach Brusig in the middle. It's Jesse Kaiser. He's going to New Mexico Military. Juan Ortega Laverne, Gary Ganson, Ottawa University. But that's Ottawa, Arizona.
Okay.
Don't get confused.
Okay.
And Anthony Suarez. He's going to be a poet.
Oh,
at Whittier.
Whittier poet. You know who went there? Tricky Dick. Do you know who that is?
Eisenhower?
Oh, Richard Nixon. Come on, man.
Oh, Richard Nixon.
Yeah,
is that who
Nixon.
Tricky Dick is?
Dick is Richard Nixon.
Man, I got to go back to my history class.
You should.
Jeez. Do we have the Roosevelt picture too? Because I want to give a shout out to the Roosevelt guys too.
Is there anything about Roosevelt on there?
Tommy Leach and the Mustangs. Again, they crank
There's
out.
Aquinas again.
Aquinas again. We love Aquinas.
Oh, there he is.
I promised Coach Leach. Now, I didn't promise him a donut, but I did promise we'd give him a shout out. His guys. It's Jalen Johnson. He's going to Arizona. Jalen Martin going to Cal. Tyson McDonald to Akron. And Dorian Mars to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. We got the Mustangs, the Zips, the Wildcats, and the Golden Bears.
I want to play for the Zips just because it's the best.
Zips.
The best.
I would wear Zip gear in a heartbeat.
It's awesome right there.
Wouldn't you wear the Zips?
It's darn right. I would wear Zips everywhere.
And finally, Anthony, roll the video, because this is our very first look at former Cajon High School quarterback Jaden Daniels at Arizona State University. There he is wearing number 5 in a 4-way battle for the starting quarterback job. Geoff, he's got a real shot at being a true freshman and starting for head coach Herm Edwards in the fall.
Come on. on. I mean, he's already in school.
He's already there. Look at him. He's in the uniform.
He showed a video of 4 quarterbacks all dropping back at the same time. Who the heck are they throwing to? Just nobody?
Dudes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jaden Daniels, we're going to see him playing on Sundays. It'll be nice to see him play Saturdays in the fall, but I'll tell you what, he's going to be a Sunday big-time player, and I'm going to say I knew him. And at one time, I was his agent for a very short time.
There was a minute on the Inland Sports Show when you were his agent.
I was his agent. I was going to send him to the Canadian Football League. Before it said bypass, look at Coach Edwards. We were going to bypass.
But he won. Coach Edwards won the battle with you.
He did, but I'll get him back. He'll be back in my group of football players when I'm an agent.
And in case you didn't know, Jaden Daniels, the all-time leading passer in CIF Southern Section history. Nobody better than Jaden Daniels. And now he might start as a true freshman at ASU. So congratulations to Jaden Daniels. It's donut time.
Not for me.
I'm going to sit alone in my car with these 3 donuts. No, actually, listen, we got Indian Springs basketball tonight on IEMG. So check out the IE Media Group YouTube channel tonight, 7 o'clock. Cullen Hult's going to have the call.
He is going to have the call.
I'm going to eat the donuts, and he's going to do the game.
I'll tell you what. And then we've got UCR basketball later on this week on Thursday. And then I go to Hawaii on Friday.
You're going to Hawaii?
And then I'm coming back Saturday night. It's a very, very long trip to Hawaii.
That's a very quick
trip. Long trip. I'm going to be hanging out. I'll be tan next time you see me for about 4 hours of being in Hawaii.
Yeah, who is this guy? Don Ho over here.
Yeah, Don Ho. I'm going to show up next week. I'm going to have puka shells. I'm going to act like I'm a regular. I am. I'm going to wear pukas. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy you some. I'm going to buy me some.
Some pukas.
And we're going to wear them next Tuesday.
Deal. If you do it, I'll wear it.
I'm going to do it. Trust me. I'll do it.
Done deal. Big thanks to Johnny Nunez, Anthony Trujillo, everybody here at Valverde, Teen Vision TV 16. Keep an eye on them on Twitter because they've been live streaming a lot of these basketball games from the regular season now and into the playoffs. And make sure you're following us on Twitter as well at Inland_Sports. We do appreciate it. We'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports TV Show.